hey, we're here to tell you.
So
From the ripped out, just a piece of
no
shit.
good can come from it.
No one likes us.
Right on. So we'll just jump right into it. First of all, my name's Ryan. This is my partner here, Terry.
How's it going, man?
Hey, man.
Terry is a super fan of Piñata Protest.
Yeah, Ryan usually does all the music interviews because he is an actual musician. I can't play anything, but I demanded being included on this interview. So this is kind of my first musical interview. So you're gonna have to bear with my lame ass.
So I guess we'll start off. I know you guys started back in like '06, '07, something like that. How did y'all come about? How did you get started?
I don't know. Well, it was basically just an idea, really. Honestly, it was an idea to start a band that mixed two genres together that never had been combined before,
Mm-hmm.
which was punk rock and Tex-Mex music.
Yeah, norteño and all that. But I mean, I hear like I listen to a lot of different things, and I'm Irish, so like I hear a lot of like Irish influence too, like Clancy Brothers type stuff.
Yeah,
I
man.
hear in there too. Um, that's cool, man. So I am curious about this too. I told you at one point my OG is from out there. He used to live in the neighborhood where you filmed that video on the bike. How is the scene out there in San Antonio these days? I mean, not right now, obviously, but is it
Yeah.
still wild out there? Is it the Wild West, or is it kind of calmed down a little bit?
It goes through its changes, man. Just like anything else, but it's been picking up. Uh, the city's growing a lot, and there's a lot of new people in town, and with that, I think it's bringing a lot of fresh energy. There's a lot of new clubs around as well. And along with all that growth too, I think there's a lot of kind of people rediscovering their roots and
Hmm.
figuring out that we're a pretty badass city, very, very unique city. And with that comes a lot of, other kinds of unique ways to kind of showcase our culture as well.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. That's really refreshing to see. So it's going great. It's going really good.
That's good.
Unfortunately, of course, COVID hit. Hopefully everything gets back to normal and things get popping again, because I felt like we were on the roll for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be over hopefully soon enough, and then maybe the country will calm down, deal with this police issue, and so speaking of that, since you've been in quarantine, have you been writing, or have you guys been able to get back together and practice in some way or another? You've been writing collectively or on your own, anything like that?
Yeah, we're always working on new stuff. Mostly it's been by myself. Um, it's kind of, you'd think like we'd have all this free time to work on new stuff, but
Yeah.
actually not really. For a while, actually, we were just afraid to even just meet up as a band,
Hmm.
and it's hard to do stuff. But now things are loosening up, which is great. We've also kind of been working on our side project, our side band, which is more of a just traditional performing of traditional Tex-Mex songs.
Hmm.
And we've been doing a lot of like serenades, like so we go to people's houses for special occasions, and we play some traditional songs with the accordion, the bajo sexto, and we just got a tuba player too.
I saw that, yeah. And it's
Fuck
just the
yeah.
three of you, right? It's a trio?
Yeah, it's a trio, but we can go as a four-piece also,
Okay.
with drums. It's just really, I mean, ultimately, like, we're just a big musical family, and everybody kind of fills in when somebody's not available. So, but that's just for a side band.
Right.
We've been doing that a lot, and it's interesting. Like, I don't know when big shows are gonna come back. It's gonna be a while, I
Yeah.
think, and in a way, it's kind of cool because it kind of gives, well, number one, a lot of artists time to, inspiration, especially with everything going on right now,
Hmm.
to work on new stuff, time to work on new stuff. But also, I think it opens up a lot of doors for groups that do stuff like unplugged or traditional, and it's kind of been really good. Like if you're like a mariachi, it's great. You know, demand has gone up for sure.
Sure.
If, you know, you're more of an unplugged, folksy kind of group. You know, you're still good to go for the most part, and that's really cool. You know, so you know, but I think at the end of it, you know, I think we'll be okay.
Sure.
Musicians, you know, we always, for the most part, carry that banner of starving artist, and you know, we always land on our feet. We're always very flexible.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna be okay at the end of all this.
Absolutely, I'm sure of it. Yeah, yeah. Musicians are very much like cats. You just kind of slink through and land on your feet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was actually the other thing I was going to ask you about that side project. So you beat me to it. Are there any bands once this is over? Are there any bands that you're looking forward to, have plans to, or that you just in a perfect world like to tour with or play with?
And not nobody specifically, man. We just, as a band, I think we all just really miss playing.
Sure.
We'd be happy just playing just with other local bands right now.
Right on.
You know, we did have a drive-in show recently, which was really cool. And it wasn't like we were hoping, you know. I'll say that having a crowd there watching the show live, it really is the show, you know.
Sure.
Otherwise, you feel like you're playing to a bunch of cars.
Right, I was gonna say. So, I mean, how many people did they? Was it like a drive-in movie theater, and they had just cars pull in, and they're all just sat in their cars looking at you?
No, it wasn't a theater. It was just some outdoor stage
Okay.
that they have for events out like in the country. It was actually a really cool setting. Like it was on private property, but they only allowed 40 cars in. That was the max they could do.
So
And
maybe 80 people.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it was something, and it was just weird, honestly. I think overall, I mean, I was really happy to play again. It felt really good, but I felt like I was just playing to a bunch of a parking lot, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's super awesome to bring the community together. I know that previous to all this bullshit, you guys had done a lot of like festivals and stuff down there, even like food festivals, which is so awesome. You seem like you're such a part of the community in that area, you know, for you guys to be able to do that and bring, you know, the two genres of music together that someone else from one genre is not going to be experienced to the other one, you know, and I find it awesome as fuck.
Yeah, it's fun. It's, you know, and each one has like, you know, we try to kind of cater a little bit to each one of them a little bit, but you know, we definitely are a mix of both. And you know, it's cool seeing like both sides interact and come together, you know.
For sure.
You know, it's really interesting, especially when they're like of different generations, like one may be older than the other. And another thing I found too, I think is really cool, is that we're kind of like a bridge between the two sides, within generation, within families, you know. And it's cool because like sometimes you have the parents come to the show and they'll bring like their little kid, you know, and you know, for one, you know, it's punk rock, but at the same time they don't want to lose, you know, touch of their Mexican culture, their
Sure.
you know, their stage and everything. And I think that's cool that we get to be that bridge. So
Yeah, I'm just glad to know that punk rock shows are not like they used to be. I honestly, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't know how old you are, but Terry and I remember when punk rock shows were very dangerous. You know.
yeah,
And I don't know if yeah, I'm sure in San Antonio you've had that, but I'm glad to see that more and more there are people taking their kids to see straight up punk rock shows, and then there's people that also bridge the gap that have, you know, norteño and traditional Mexican music and punk rock, that type of thing, or even Irish, whatever, that makes it even more accessible to people that normally wouldn't take their kids to a punk rock show at all. You know, so that's a really positive thing. I'm glad to see these days.
That's true. You're right. I didn't even think about that. You know, they were a lot more dangerous. It wasn't a place to take kids.
Right.
Uh, and well, you know what? We started off as a band that would play just those shows. They were all DIY,
Yeah.
hole in the wall places with no rules, no real nothing. You know, and they did get dangerous and rowdy at
Hmm.
points. You know, um, and we'll play those shows from time to time, but you know, they're not very often. But for the most part, yeah, our stuff is more family friendly, and that's cool. Like
Good.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
So, are there any standout, like memorable shows that you played, or tours or stories from the road that you might have? I know you did a bit of touring. Was it mostly the West Coast, or did you go through the whole country?
Well, we've been touring for 6 years, I think,
Yeah.
straight, almost nonstop, and we've been all over the country,
Okay.
Canada, Mexico, and Europe. Um, Probably all of our most favorite one is probably the Froggy Molly Salty Dog Tour. That was a lot of fun. That was
That was on the ship, on the boat?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was so much fun. We got to hang out with some of our favorite bands. You know, it was just a big party, just a bunch of punks on a cruise ship,
Right.
and we've never been like on a cruise ship either, none of us. So that was really special. It was a lot of fun. I don't know, that was just a great experience, kind of a highlight so far.
Yeah, that's very
Um,
cool.
yeah, and punk rock bowling, we've done that. We were supposed to do it this year, but you know, got canceled. But
Right.
uh, yeah, that those are always fun. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. I think playing, you know, like we did a recent tour with GBH. We
Oh,
were
man.
supporting them, and that was a lot of fun. That was mostly on the East Coast, and a lot of these people who came out to the shows, they were just GBH fans. They didn't know who we were.
Sure.
So I think those shows are always fun as well. Like playing in front of brand new audiences who nobody knows who you are, and then you just walk on stage with an accordion and a big cowboy hat and, you know,
Yeah,
boots, and
man.
people are like, the fuck is this guy? Like, uh and it's cool, like,
Yeah.
kind of like showing them something new, I guess, 'cause these days I think it's a little hard to be brand new, and
Sure.
you know
That's got
uh
to be a good feeling going out there and then being surprised by your image. And then there's got to have been a number of those shows where you just blew them out of the water and went, "Holy shit, what's happening right now?"
yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like to see their faces.
Yeah,
They go for like a range of emotions,
man.
from
Sure.
like
Yeah.
confused to like
Oh,
surprised to like excited at the end.
yeah, man.
Uh, it's really cool. And then talking to people, of course, after the show is really cool. Get to know people, and people are for the most part, it's been very supportive, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy.
That's good. Was there, as far as punk rock goes, since I have you specifically, was there a particular record or moment or anything like that that got you heavily into punk rock? I know most people have one. I certainly do. I was just curious. Yeah, did you hear something on the radio and went, "Oh," you switched on and it became something more to you, something like that?
Yeah, that's funny because I've had this conversation with uh, all my friends that are
Yeah.
really big punk rock, and yeah, we all have that moment. Like it's
Mhm.
weird, like you know. But yeah, I definitely had it. I was a little bit older. I was in high school when I got into punk rock, and I was at a party, and they were playing the Ramones, the Clash, Rage Against the Machine.
Mhm.
Just other bands I didn't know at the time. I don't even know, but I remember hearing it, and I was like, "This music is a lot of fun. Like, wow, what is
Yeah.
this?" And and I remember at that time thinking like, "Wow, like I want to play this music. I don't know why, but I want to play this music." And at the time, I was in band. I played the trumpet.
Okay.
I didn't know how to play guitar or anything. And from that moment, I decided I'm going to learn to play guitar so I can play this music and make other people feel just like I feel right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And yeah, man. So that moment, I think, carries me to this day, you know?
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, you remember where you were at. You probably remember what it smelled like, because I certainly remember that moment just like that, you know. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Ramones was one of those ones that made me switch on too. So what was I thinking? Oh, I know you play accordion. I think you play the trumpet. I know you play that on a few tracks. Are there any other instruments that you play as well? Not necessarily in this band, but just in general.
Well, my main one, yeah, is accordion.
Okay.
I play guitar. I mean, I do songwriting with guitar a lot. I guess, a little bit of drum. I'll do a little bit of everything. I'm not that great, but I just enough. The bajo sexto, which is the traditional Tex-Mex, accompaniment. That's a cool instrument. Not really other than that, honestly.
Okay.
I think that's enough for me, honestly. Like,
Yeah, sure. That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
What's the other thing? Oh, I was going to ask you, a lot of times with vocalists, this is a difficult question. It doesn't really work out for me. But being that you're a multi-instrumentalist, is there any equipment that you just can't live without, that you need to have with you?
Oh, man. Any equipment I can't live without? That's a weird one. I don't know, man. I've been in so many. No, I'm never. Honestly, there's nothing. Oh, I guess what? I don't know. Water, maybe. I don't know.
All right. I'm not mad at that answer. That's all right.
I don't know. I've never. I don't know. I would say like, oh, I need a microphone, but
sure. But there's not a particular.
I've had shows where we don't have a PA system for some reason, and I've had to scream.
Yeah,
like
I've done those.
At that drive-in show that we had, it ended up raining really hard. We only got to play like 5 songs because a freak rain shower came down, and we had to stop the whole show. We stopped everything.
The stage wasn't covered, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't covered.
Oh.
We kept playing. The only thing you could hear at the end was just the drums, but we kept going through the song. We kept the song going.
Yeah.
While we're getting drenched, and I was just screaming as loud as I can. So, is there any piece of equipment that I definitely need? No, I'll make it work one way or another.
Gotcha. I like your style.
Yeah.
That's gangster.
That's epic.
So this is another one I ask everybody, every musician. Do you have any pre-show rituals that you do? Not necessarily every show, but most every show. Something that you need to do before you go on.
Yeah, I kind of have like this little moment to myself, just to kind of just like calm myself down. I still get nervous, I don't think nerves ever go away, man.
Doesn't go away, and that's a good feeling to me.
Yeah, for sure. But I like to just kind of just take a moment and just kind of center myself and just calm down and just remember to chill and just and kind of take those nerves away. So I like doing that a lot. Before all shows, just a little moment. It could be just a few seconds.
Sure. Just a hot break from everybody. I hear that from vocalists more than anybody. I've done interviews with bass players, guitar players, drummers, and usually they're like, I like to have a drink and I like to, maybe do something a little rowdy and get amped up. But vocalists always go, I need a couple minutes by myself. I need to meditate for a minute. It's wild to me.
Yeah.
And so do you do vocal warm-ups or anything like that, or you just have at it?
No, I do vocal warm-ups, and that's something kind of brand new. I do it really more anything not to lose my voice. That's really why. Yeah, because I mean, I'm up there going, rah, you know,
Yeah.
for an hour or whatever. But
And then night after night after night.
yeah,
So,
yeah, man. And then sometimes, you know, we'll come home after a tour and we got shows lined up with my side band. And that band is technically, it's actual singing. It's not just,
right.
you know.
Right.
So I need to save my voice. So really, I do vocal warm-ups. Yeah, I drink a lot of water because I don't want to lose my voice.
That's a good idea, man.
So, yeah.
Terry, did you have any questions? I have a couple more, but I wanted to give you a shot to jump in.
Maybe just on some of your influences, man. Some of the stuff that's kind of offhand that, you know, not particularly the punk rock ones and stuff, but me and Ryan have a love of Motown. We did a country and western episode and stuff like that. Even some of the, you know, I know you guys cover Volver Volver, which is Vicente Fernandez, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and
man.
that's something that brings the community together for sure. I could show any of my uncles that shit. They're going to fucking love it and want to dance too.
That's the ultimate cover.
For sure, man. So if there's any of that early stuff that you want to like just kind of send out and let our listeners know what we should be listening to, I'd love to hear some of that.
Influences, well, along those lines, there's a group called Los Tigres del Norte.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
The Tigers from the North.
Did you see the documentary on them? This on Netflix? Where they're in the prison?
I haven't. Oh, yeah. They did release some kind of show. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, it's okay. No, but those guys are, you know, they're idols in Mexico. What I first got into them when I was little. My dad used to sing their songs, you know, and the thing I liked about them was because they sang a lot of songs about the immigrant experience, about struggling with language and running from the immigration authorities, you know, or hiding from them. And it was cool because, like, as a little kid, it was like, wow, like this group sings about what I'm going through and what my family's going through, and that was very special. Especially, you know, when every other type of music, they didn't really touch on that at all.
Yeah.
So that for me, you know, and they sang about, you know, the working class struggle, you know, and they're one of the reasons actually I always felt that the mixing of the two genres could work, because to me, I always felt, you know, punk rock is working class music. You know, it's 3 chords and a melody and just, you know, some aggression. And on the norteño side, Los Tigres del Norte, their songs are really, really simple. It's just 3 chords and a really catchy melody. And they're not playing anything really complex, man, but they won the hearts of so many people, and they're the voice of several generations now.
Absolutely.
So that's one band for sure. But man, I listen to everything, and I like to think that, you know, everything kind of influences me.
Fuck yeah.
In a way. I like a lot of right now. There's this composer named Philip Glass.
Oh, yeah.
You know him?
Oh, I'm hip, yeah.
I love his music and the way that he uses repetition with subtle change within his music. I've kind of like caught myself kind of like emulating in a way with my accordion.
Sure.
So yeah, everything's an influence, man. I love there's no genre I don't like, except maybe dubstep. I don't know.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I don't like a ton of like super heavy electronic stuff, but there's something in every other genre that I'll take. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure. I love it, man. Yeah, we've definitely maintained through all of our seasons that there's not really a bad genre of music. There's just people that do it badly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel you, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So I got 2 more for you. So do you have any plans for the future once the country calms the fuck down a little bit? Do you have another record you're going to be working on, a tour you're going to jump on, or just kind of just get right back into it a little bit?
I don't know, man. We definitely want to release some new music. That's definitely up in the air for sure. But you know, we're gonna just see how things go. honestly.
Sure.
I don't want to make any plans right now because things are crazy, man.
That's
And, you know, I understand what's going on. And we support the Black Lives Matter movement 100%.
Same.
And, you know, in a way, too, I feel like I don't want to try and do anything yet until all that is resolved, because I don't want to take away attention from that, you know. Well, we'll definitely promote, you know, stuff that's going on, but I feel like, in a way, like, I kind of want to wait for that to be resolved before trying to try anything, because I really want what's going on all around the country and the world to take center stage, and you know, I really hope once and for all these issues with violence, with police brutality, are finally settled once and for all. Like, you know, we have this great energy, and I don't want to take away from that, you know, I feel. And I don't know, it you know, but at the same time, you know, I want to do, you know, use our band as a vehicle to try to promote, try to, you know, spread the word,
Sure.
you know, about what's going on as well. So, but I don't know, man. I don't know. These are crazy times.
Sure. Yeah, it's difficult to make plans. I understand, of course.
But you know, we look forward to getting back into the groove of things. We love playing music, and we miss playing shows so much. You know,
Absolutely.
you don't realize how much you love something until it's gone. It's taken away.
Of
So,
course, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one last one for you. Being that you're from San Antonio, carne asada or carne guisada?
guisada, man, it's good.
Guisada? All
Yeah,
right.
guisada, man, because you can have that for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Asada is more like afternoon kind of, you know, or dinner kind of thing. But
You're not really.
guisada is like, I'm sorry.
You're not wrong, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's good. I mean, both are great. But guisada is,
All right.
yeah.
All
And it's a
right.
little bit harder to make too, man. If you can make guisada, you got some talent. So
Well, that's another thing. As I told you, my OG, my best friend in the whole world's from out there. He lived there his entire young life. He's been out in California for a while now, but he's like, I can't find it out here. It just doesn't exist. It's hard to find quesada out here.
yeah, man.
So that being said, we usually close out. If you have anything, last things to say, we're ready, willing, and able to hear it. And then if you want to pick a song, a Piñata Protest song, we'll play that after the thing's over.
Sure. Well, whoever's checking this out, you know, thank you for all the support. You know, I felt really, we've gotten a really good kind of response. You know, when COVID hit, people were checking up on us and seeing how we were doing, and it was a little overwhelming, like how much support we've had. People just wondered, hey, you gonna be okay? Because, you know, they know that, you know, we're pretty much full-time musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's really nice. That's overwhelming, and thank you all very much for your support, and you know, that keeps us going.
Fantastic. What song you want us to play?
A song would be, you know what? I think something kind of help cheer people up a bit.
All right.
Something a little upbeat, little ska. California Girl.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good one. That's off the newest. That's off your newest release, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. No problem. Hey, Alvaro, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you out there. We look forward to seeing when you come back to California, my man.
Me too, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, brother.
For sure.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much,
Y'all
man.
take care.
When you're in Cali, let us know. We'll make you some barbecue. You're gonna have to drive by us, man.
Sounds great.
Cheers,
Thank you,
brother.
Take care.
Next, you're not among the city lights. You know the feeling's right, and I crew, you know the feeling's true, but I long to be with you. Cause I'm tough and I'm strong, but without you not for long. From your lips I can't stay far away. I can't think straight, cause I just can't wait. Cause I anticipate all the moves you make. Yeah, you make me detonate. Cause I'm tough and I'm strong, but without you not for long. From your lips I can't stay far away. Otra vez, como después, who knows when I'll be back again. I'll call it right, please don't fight, I'll be missing you tonight. Cause I'm tough and I'm strong, but without you, nothing.